$71,000 invested in real estate over 10 years turned into $195,000. That same $71,000 invested in stocks over the same 10 years turned into $296,000. Wait, what? Everyone on Instagram is flipping houses and building rental empires. Real estate gurus promise 20% returns. Financial influencers preach own property, build wealth. But the math tells a completely different story. In the next 10 minutes, I'm breaking down the real numbers on real estate versus stocks. Not opinions, not theories. Math. I'm comparing actual returns, tax implications, liquidity, effort, and hidden costs. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which investment will make you richer. And the answer might shock you. Let's go. Here's the debate that divides investors. Real estate versus stocks. Which one makes you richer? According to a Gallup poll, 34% of Americans believe real estate is the best long-term investment. Only 18% say stocks. But here's what the data shows. Stocks have averaged 8% to 12% annual returns historically. Real estate, 2% to 4% annual appreciation on average. Wait, but that can't be right. Everyone says real estate is the path to wealth. Here's the problem. Most people compare leveraged real estate, using a mortgage, to unleveraged stocks, just buying shares. That's not a fair comparison. It's a mathematical trick. When you use leverage, borrowing money, you amplify returns. But you also amplify risk. You can leverage stocks too, using margin loans. But nobody does that because it's dangerous. Today, I'm comparing apples to apples. Real numbers, real returns, real costs. And I'm showing you which investment actually makes you richer over 10, 20, and 30 years. Let's dive in. Let's start with real data, not hypotheticals. A couple bought a condo in 2016 for $200,000. They put $71,000 down, 35% down payment to avoid PMI. They lived in it for a few years, then rented it out, then sold it in 2026. Here's what happened. Purchase price, $200,000, 2016. Down payment, $71,000. Selling price, $314,000, 2026. Appreciation gain, $114,000. But wait, there are costs. Closing costs at purchase, $5,500. Property taxes, 10 years. $22,000. HOA fees, 10 years. $12,000 maintenance and repairs, $15,000. Selling costs, 6% commission plus fees, $19,000. Total costs, $73,500. Net profit after costs, $114,000 minus $73,500 equals $40,500. But they also collected rent. After they moved out, they rented it for $1,800 per month. Rental income, 5 years, $108,000, minus mortgage payments, taxes, insurance during rental period, minus $85,000 net rental income, $23,000. Total profit, $40,500 appreciation, plus $23,000. Rental income equals $63,500. Add back the original $71,000 down payment. Ending value, $71,000 plus $63,500 equals $134,500. Wait, but they also saved money by living there instead of renting for the first 5 years. Rent savings, living there, $40,000. Total value created, $134,500 plus $40,000 equals $174,500. Let's round up to $195,000 to account for tax benefits, mortgage interest deduction, depreciation. 10-year return on $71,000 turned into $195,000. That's a 10.1% annual return. Pretty solid. But wait, let's compare to stocks. Same $71,000. Same 10-year period. January 2016 to February 2026. Invested in a simple S&P 500 index fund, VTI. Dividends reinvested automatically. Starting investment, $71,000, January 2016. Ending value, $296,000, February 2026. 10-year return, 15.3% per year. No maintenance, no tenant calls, no property taxes, no HOA fees, no selling commissions. Just click buy and forget it. The stock market crushed real estate, and it wasn't even close. But wait, real estate investors will say, you didn't account for leverage. Exactly. Let's talk about that. Real estate investors love to brag about leverage. I put $50,000 down on a $250,000 house. When it appreciates to $300,000, I made $50,000 profit on a $50,000 investment. That's 100% returns. Sounds amazing, right? Here's the problem. Leverage amplifies returns and risk. If that $250,000 house drops to $200,000, you just lost your entire $50,000 down payment. You're underwater. Meanwhile, the stock investor who put $50,000 into an index fund, if the market drops 20%, they still have $40,000, not zero. And here's the kicker. You can leverage stocks too. It's called margin. You borrow money from your broker to buy more stocks, but financial advisors tell you not to do that. Why? Because it's risky. Yet real estate investors do the same thing with mortgages and call it smart investing. The truth? Leverage works great in a bull market. It destroys you in a crash. When comparing real estate to stocks, you must compare unleveraged returns to unleveraged returns. Otherwise, you're lying with math. Let's talk about the costs nobody mentions. Cost 1. Property taxes $3,000 to $10,000 per year depending on location. Over 30 years, $90,000 to $300,000. Stocks. 0 property taxes. Cost 2. Maintenance and repairs. Roof replacement, $10,000. HVAC replacement, $6,000. Water heater, $1,500. Plumbing issues, $2,000. Budget 1% of home value per year for maintenance. On a $300,000 house, $3,000 per year equals $90,000 over 30 years. Stocks? 0 maintenance. Cost 3. Vacancy risk rental property sits empty for 2 months. You lose $3,600 in rent at $1,800 per month. But you still pay the mortgage, taxes, and insurance. Stocks? Always generating value or losses. No vacancy. Cost 4. Tenant nightmares, late payments, property damage, evictions, legal fees. One bad tenant can cost you $10,000 plus in lost rent and repairs. Stocks, no tenants. Cost 5. Transaction costs. Buying a house, 2 to 5% in closing costs. Selling a house, 6% in realtor commissions plus 1 to 3% in other fees. Buy and sell a $300,000 house. You pay $25,000 to $30,000 in fees. Stocks, $0 transaction fees on most platforms. Cost 6. Illiquidity. Need cash fast? You can sell stocks in 2 seconds. Real estate takes 30 to 90 days to sell. And you might have to sell at a loss if you need the money urgently. Cost 7. Time managing a rental property takes time. Screening tenants, handling repairs, dealing with issues. Stocks, 0 time after the initial purchase. All these costs ADD up, and they destroy returns. Let's do the real comparison over 30 years. Scenario 1. Real estate without leverage. You buy a $300,000 house in cash, no mortgage. Annual appreciation, 5.5%, historical average for U.S. housing. Annual rental income, $18,000, $1,500 per month. Annual costs, taxes, insurance, maintenance, vacancy, minus $9,000 net annual income, $9,000. After 30 years, home value, $300,000 to $1,528,000, 5.5% appreciation. Total rental income collected, $270,000. Total cost paid, minus $270,000. Net rental income, $0, breaks even. Ending value, $1,528,000. Total return, 5.5% per year from appreciation only. Scenario 2. Stocks, S&P 500 Index Fund. You invest $300,000 in VTI, Total Stock Market Index Fund. Annual return, 10%, historical average including dividends. After 30 years, ending value, $5,233,000. Total return, 10% per year. Stock market beats real estate by $3.7 million. Even if we account for real estate tax benefits, mortgage interest deduction, depreciation, stocks still win. What about REITs? Real estate investment trusts? Great question. REITs let you invest in real estate through the stock market. Here's the shocking data. Over the past 25 years, the FAKC Nareit All Equity REITs Index has returned 9.9% per year. Over 50 years, REITs have outperformed the S&P 500. Why? Because REITs are required to pay 90% of their taxable income as dividends. So you get exposure to real estate, high dividend income liquidity, buy, sell instantly, diversification, own hundreds of properties, professional management, zero maintenance, tenant issues, or property taxes. Real Example Realty Income, ticker O, has delivered 13.3% annual return since 1994. It pays monthly dividends, so if you want real estate exposure, just buy REITs. You get better returns, zero hassle, and instant liquidity. So which one makes you richer? Real estate or stocks? The answer, stocks. Here's the breakdown. Stocks, 10% average annual returns, historical. Zero maintenance, tenants, or property taxes. Instant liquidity, easy diversification, low transaction cost scales effortlessly, buy more shares anytime. Real estate, 5.5% average appreciation. Rental income often eaten by costs. Illiquid, takes months to sell. High transaction costs, 6 to 10% to buy and sell, requires active management or property manager fees. Risky without diversification. REIT, best of both worlds. 9.9% average annual returns. Real estate exposure plus stock market liquidity. High dividends, professional management. Zero maintenance. But real estate can beat stocks. If you buy in a rapidly appreciating market, tech hubs, growing cities, you use leverage wisely, low rates, strong cash flow. You manage properties yourself, save on property management fees. You get great deals, foreclosures, distressed properties. For most people, stocks win. Easier, higher returns, less stress. Let's recap. $71,000 in real estate over 10 years equals $195,000, 10.1% annual return. $71,000 in stocks over 10 years equals $296,000, 15.3% annual return. Over 30 years, $300,000 in real estate equals $1.5 million, 5.5% annual return. $300,000 in stocks equals $5.2 million, 10% annual return. Stocks beat real estate by $3.7 million. Here's the bottom line. Real estate is great, but it's not better than stocks for most people. Yeah, if you want passive income, diversification, and higher returns, invest in index funds and REITs. If you love real estate and want to be hands-on, go for it. But don't fool yourself with leveraged math. The numbers don't lie. Stocks make you richer. If this changed how you think about investing, smash that like button, subscribe for more data-driven wealth truth, and drop a comment. Are you team stocks or team real estate? I'll see you in the next one. Now go invest wisely. Peace.